my audience for my final persuasive speech on recycling. In 1 year, the United States produces 160 million tons of garbage, and that only includes what is legally dumped. 160 million tons equals out to be enough metal to build 2 million automobiles, enough wood to construct 1 million homes, and enough paper to publish all of the newspapers in the whole entire country. 160 million tons is also enough aluminum to rebuild the entire American fleet 71 times and would fill 1 million garbage trucks. This information is made public by the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. Let's face it, we Americans are drowning economically in more ways than one. So why must we continue to drown in trash when it can be avoided? Today I'm here to tell you why America needs to start recycling and go green. The EPA continuously puts out information and facts about recycling. For example, a modern glass bottle would take about 4,000 years to decompose, and even longer if it sits in a landfill. Another staggering fact from the EPA is that the typical American family consumes 182 gallons of soda, 29 gallons of juice, 104 gallons of milk, and 26 gallons of bottled water in 1 year. The sad thing is that only about 9% of this waste actually gets recycled. Recycling is a theory that many of us were exposed to at a very young age, specifically the reduce, reuse, recycle theory. Recycling seems to be a no-brainer. However, less than 11% of Americans actually recycle on a regular basis, according to the EPA. Today I'm here to tell you why you need to be an advocate for Mother Earth and do your part to recycle. Today I will discuss why recycling is not a hassle, why it makes a difference, and learn what is actually recyclable. Before I begin my speech about recycling, I want you to know that it is not the staggering facts put out by the EPA that I want you to remember, or how the trash is piling up at an enormous rate. It is the simple action of throwing away everyday household objects into a recycling bin that I want you to remember. At the end of the day, I want you to gain a consciousness for what you can throw away. I want you to be an advocate for our beautiful Mother Earth and recycle. How many of you have heard the words, "Have you taken out the trash yet?" It is sad that we never hear the words, "Have you taken out the recycling?" In a recent interview that I conducted with 5 close family members who currently do not recycle, I inquired about their reasons for not recycling. The #1 answer was convenience. Doesn't it seem like if everything in America is not convenient, then it's a waste of time? Well, recycling is definitely in that category. According to the EPA, the #1 reason that most Americans do not recycle is also convenience. I'm here today not to recite the excuses I heard for not recycling. I'm here to talk about all the reasons to recycle. Recycling does not mean that you have to sort every single piece of trash that you have. Start small. Recycle only the plastics for starters. Then go up to paper and plastic products. Start small and gradually build up to recycling many items. You know what they say, Rome was not built in a day. You have to start somewhere. Another reason to recycle is because nowadays recycling is made easy with curbside pickup. Many garbage and recycling companies will simply pick up all of your recycling jumbled together and sort it for you. This may come at a bit of a higher cost, however it cuts down on your inconvenience that families say sorting recycling does. Recycling has come such a long way in the over 50 years. Plastics and paper are virtually able to be made into hundreds of items over and over again, saving you, the consumer, money. As I stated earlier today, I'm here to dissipate your excuses for not recycling and give you reasons to believe in the power of recycling and why it is so beneficial. Although there are numerous excuses for choosing not to recycle, there are a million more reasons to recycle. For example, according to the EPA, recycling saves energy. This is a no-brainer. Recycling saves energy because the manufacturer doesn't have to produce and reproduce the same product from new natural resources over and over again. By using recycled materials, we save on energy consumption, which saves you money. Recycling reduces landfills. Recycling reduces the need for landfills. No one wants to live next to a landfill. Recycling preserves our resources and protects wildlife. By recycling, we reduce the number of trees that are destroyed for the animal and habitat. Paper recycling alone can save on millions of trees per year. Recycling is also good for the economy. According to the Recycling Revolution, a website created to address the issue of recycling, recycling and purchasing recycled products creates a greater demand for the recycled goods. This ultimately saves you money. Recycling helps control the climate problem. Recycling produces considerably less carbon dioxide in the air, which reduces the amount of unhealthy greenhouse gases that we are inhaling. Now that you have discovered the compelling reasons to recycle, let's take a look at what can be recycled. I think you'll be very surprised at how easy it is. Throughout my interview with my family, I was asking the question, if you could recycle, what would you recycle, or do you even know what could be recycled? Many responses were simply paper, plastics, mail only. These are very slim answers of what can actually be recycled. Recycled items can be looked up on the internet, put up as a flyer in your household, or looking at the symbol on the bottoms of the bottles or paper to specify whether they can or can't be recycled. Livestrong.com is a great resource for printing off flyers and how-to guides for recycling. I have printed off these handy materials that I will pass around that show exactly what can be recycled and what can't. Also, I have for each of you a sheet with recycling tips and also some handy information about what can be recycled. I will pass those around now. According to Earth.com, items such as glass, aerosol, plastic, cardboard, aluminum, metal cans, mail, catalogs, and magazines can be put in the recycling bin. All of these materials can be made into amazing products. During my interviews, I was shocked at some of the amazing answers I was receiving in regards to recycling knowledge. Today, I have conveyed an excellent argument with adequate need and reason for increased recycling. Recycling is so easy to do, takes hardly any time at all, and can reduce pollution and waste. Recycling is not a hassle, and is not the hassle it is talked up to be. Build up your habits, start small, and soon you will be the king of recycling. My dream someday is to live out in the mountains and breathe in the fresh air. If we Americans continue to trash the world, I fear that my dream of living near fresh air may dwindle. Do your part by going green, because now you have the knowledge and excuse to recycle. And here's my audience once again.